aboard!
Outdoor service owners, rise and shine. It's time to start fueling your success one adventure at a time. We are in beautiful Manassas, Virginia.
Yep, just north of the battlefield.
Hanging with Big Pat here. I'm Kevin. This is Patrick Harder's, hanging at his pad in this beautiful town, and got something going on in the back. What's going on?
Got a little
back
barbecue.
here?
So we got rib competition. Love doing that. Cornhole competition, and then got a band. Eric Holgram came in from Nashville. Cornhole competition supporting soldiers. So
cool.
Proceeds going away. So it's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So we're gonna have some good barbecue later, and
a couple beers here and there.
Great music and everything. Hope everybody's doing well. And talking about business a little bit before we head back to the barbecue party.
Yeah, I've got to check my ribs.
Got to check your ribs.
They come off at 3.
What would you do if you had to start an outdoor service today, Pat? If you could do anything in the world differently, or any new service?
I think, the one thing I didn't do, I had no funding when I started, and you don't need any. You could do the, bootstraps, which is what I did. I think the big advice I'd give is try and get some financing, whatever you can get, pull together. Hire good people, hire a good accountant, hire a good attorney. The attorney might come a little bit later, but you want to have one in your back pocket, someone you can talk to.
And they got LegalZoom online too.
You can get set up. Make sure you get all your credentials set up, because I was like 3 years into it. I'm like, wait, I need a contractor's license? Didn't know, and I didn't.
So in other words, be protected in case something bad happens.
Yep.
Okay.
So you want to get all your ducks in order that way. After that, it's like getting your information out. I think you're going to worry about too many things, like website. Like, that's important. Get something, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, I always say, perfection kills you.
There you go.
Get something out there and then fix it and fix it again. Hell, I'm 25 years in this. I redid my website in May, and I'm redoing it in October. It's just part of business. Like, if you're going to launch it, just launch it and then figure it out as you go.
So that's a great tip. So guys, when you're starting out and getting going, just do it. Nike's logo, right? Have a logo, make it simple, and
she adds a little character to the whole thing.
She's blocking the camera. And then, you can change all that stuff later.
There's my dog, Mosby.
Oh, good God. And, anything like that, you can just keep going.
Yeah.
And just edit it later. You'll have more money to do it later.
I've watched guys get stuck in business where they're like, I'm going to launch, but I'm going to do this first, I'm going to do that. And they never launch. And the biggest advice someone gave me is get in, get out, get paid. Like,
there you go.
Do that first, get some money coming in, get some jobs, get that experience. Like, there's always the credentials, there's always everything else going on that you could go for.
Right.
But your first thing, you could run a business with word of mouth and nothing going on as long as your customers are coming to you.
That's right.
That's your most important thing. I moved up to Virginia and knew no one, but it was 500 postcards a day in mailboxes every day, and that's what I did, just hustling around. And it's like, it took weeks. Sorry, there's my dog. It took weeks to get everything set up, but we got it going.
Yeah, I mean, it's the grind, the daily grind, and looking for customers.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you got to campaign neighborhoods by foot, doing door hangers. And
the hard thing about it is, like, I was doing 500 postcards a day. For 3 weeks, I got no calls. And I would actually go out 1 week, hit people, go back the second week, hit it. It takes 3 times, I think, before they start calling.
Right.
But then all of a sudden I started getting calls, so I was too busy to put up postcards. So then I got to figure out, like, what's plan B? Because what happened is I had a hump of, like, jobs. I'm like, how could I keep up? But then there wasn't a pipeline coming behind it.
That's right.
And so then all of a sudden I was like, starving. So kind of thinking ahead on that, like, what am I going to do when I start getting customers coming in? Like, who's going to get the advertisement out? Can I start paying someone? Don't trust the kids putting out postcards in the newspaper slots or whatever. Like, they're just going to throw them away after they get done with 100. Like, nobody's going to do it like you do it.
Yeah. So that's a delicate balance of getting customers in and then maintaining that cash flow year round.
Yeah.
So
starting to get a plan, because you can only do so much. Like, you continue doing the guerrilla marketing always, the yard signs.
Yeah. Peppering.
Yeah.
And trying different things out. Nothing works specifically. Just do a bunch of different low-cost things. Facebook groups, next door groups, local groups that you can chime in and say, hey, I do mowing, or hey, I do irrigation or hardscaping or lighting.
Yeah. You're at a job, go to the neighbors and introduce yourself. You know, if you're presentable and you say, yeah, I'm already at the neighbor's house, I'll show up each week, this is my price.
Yeah.
If you ever need somebody, happy to help. You know, and just kind of that introduction you're doing. You got to keep doing that, but you do have to start thinking of like your next step is a marketing plan and not getting caught up in the ego things of like, oh, I'm going to go into big magazines, I'm going to get into all the things that's like huge commitments, like try and stay out of big
home
contracts.
shows and
Home shows, they did well. I hate them. Boy, like, I'd rather...
time killers.
Yeah. I would rather do anything in the world than do a home show, but they do get you some
They
customers.
do work, yeah.
Especially starting off, like after a while you may not need them, but at the beginning,
Yeah, they definitely help. They're boosters for one-job revenues. And
good home shows.
Yeah.
But you're going to be dead.
You're
You
gonna
come
be
back
dead
Monday and then all of a sudden you realize like you spent an entire week working to have to now really start working. Because then it's a race to where are they going to spend their money.
Yeah, so a big question we get all the time in Facebook groups especially is, hey, how do you guys get customers? Well, guerrilla marketing's your best friend.
Yeah.
You know, do the easy, low-cost things. Have a good website. Have a good way for people to contact you. And eventually, you're going to start gaining those customers. Having a good CRM or field service software so you can really attack all these quotes and these jobs efficiently. And don't forget about, oh, God, I got to call Miss Smith back. So don't drop the ball. That's number one.
Yeah.
Don't drop the ball as soon as you get customer 1 or 2 or 3 in, because those are going to be your salesmen going forward. They're going to want to put you a review on Google or Nextdoor or Yelp and incentivize those people to do so with giving them a free little leaf cleanup or a discount on an extra service maybe.
Yep.
And tell them up front before you start the job, hey, once we're done and you love what we do, if we did a bang up job for you guys, I'd love a 5-star review. Here's why it's going to help me grow. Because I'm just getting started.
People want to help you. If you're starting off and it's like, this makes a big deal so other people know, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
I'm Andy with Sandy Beach Lighting and Design.
Are you so cool you keep your glasses on?
Oh yeah, sometimes, you know, my future's so bright. You know, my future's so bright, I gotta, so there
you go. Now introduce, what do you do for a living? And
all right, I'm an outdoor lighting designer. I own my own design build installation firm where we do architectural, outdoor landscape lighting, permanent roof lights, and some holiday lighting.
Sweet.
Now,
How long?
Permanent roof lighting, that's considered lighting design?
You know, I would say that it's a solution within the realm of lighting design, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
How long you been in the business?
I've been in the outdoor business like 30 years, but just dedicated lighting about 4 years now.
Nice. Yeah. If you were getting started out, brand new in a business, you could do anything, landscaping, barbecuing.
Yeah.
What would you do
He had a barbecue
today
business too.
differently, if anything?
So differently, I guess I would have focused on a singular discipline early on. You know, I did all the things kind of coming up. You know, I did, you know, estate management, to hardscape, to design, to nursery work, you know, to learn all the outdoor stuff. But now that I just do lighting, it seems like that focus has just elevated just my whole business and me personally.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
What do you think, Pat?
Well, Andy, I would look at, like, where have you seen growth? You've been running your lighting business in a couple, 3-4 years now?
Yep.
How are you seeing your growth? Like, you had the beginning, it's like a square wheel just trying to get going. With plop, plop, plop. But then you're starting to see some traction.
Yep.
What do you think you're doing different now than you were doing, say, 3 years ago? What have you learned over the last 3 years?
Yeah, so in the 3 years, you know, my goal early on was to get my reps in. Yeah. Right, I wanted to get in front of as many people as I could. I wanted to get as many lights in the ground. I wanted to do as many nighttime reveals as possible. But now I have confidence, right? Because I've got my reps, and I spend more of my time nurturing the relationships to get the jobs. You know, before I was trying to get the jobs, but now I'm nurturing my clients to get referrals and other things, and that's been the big change.
Would you say you're a better designer than like your competitors? Are you biased at all on this question?
I'm a better designer than I was even a week ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Whoa.
Every
day.
day getting better. I look back at some of the things, and I thought they were the most amazing things at the time. and not that they're not great.
Yeah.
I'm more thoughtful.
Yeah.
And that just comes from experience. That's why I say get your reps.
And where did you go to courses and coaching, and have you invested in that in your business?
Yeah, so coaching's obviously a big deal. Having a mentor, being a part of organizations that promote growth, right? Working with manufacturers and other companies that are going to support you, right?
Yeah.
Through education, design, and best practice.
Now, and I know the answer to this, but do you develop relationships with specific manufacturers, or do you kind of go like, I share the wealth?
You know, I have the solutions which I depend on, right? That's typically from one or two manufacturers, just because they hit all the spots that I'm trying to solve in a lighting design. There are times where I'll do onesie twosies of other things and specialty offerings, but for the most part, I have a core offering.
What's your revenue like? Annual revenue now?
Annual revenue now, we've grown about, let's see, first year we did about 420,000. The next year we did about 625.
Wow.
I'm hoping I get just over about 900 this year.
Golly, almost $1 million in lighting.
In lighting.
That's crazy.
I know, yeah. And now that's mixed up with a little bit of holiday and, like I said, the permit stuff. But landscape lighting, I'd like to get it to $1 million, and those other things just kind of be the extra.
But what I see a lot of people do, and I could be speaking out of turn, but I know that you work with certain, like gemstone is like so you're not going to like 5 different companies. You actually have a relationship with them.
Yeah.
So you could call them and say, I got this going on or that going on. Like,
that's the most important thing. I mean, even, our relationship at Sterling, I lean on you guys, right? At the end of the day, I know that if I invest in you, you can invest it back in me. And it's kind of a give and take scenario, right? I do better, you do better. And those are the best relationships where you can actually physically see what that person's putting back into you. I mean, whether it's through training, education, some offer leads, that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah. Or when things like, there's going to be something where, it's like, hey, I got a job coming up and I need help. Like, you have a relationship with people.
Right.
So even if it's like a distributor, but you're kind of loyal to them, so that when something bad happens, you can be like, I'm having an issue here, or this is going on there. So it's like, the person you're working with, you want to develop those relationships. And I see a lot of guys, they bounce from one to the next, and they're always trying new things out and different things.
That's always curious to me. I mean, at the end of the day, I only want to service so many things, right? I want to service it, but I don't want to have a lot of failures.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it's important, is to find somebody that you can depend on, right? And then just lean in.
Dependability, because then you don't have as many callbacks, troubles, loss in revenue, downtime.
And I had a good friend, and this is lighting, but I think it goes with anything. It's like having to go out the job to see what you did, and then come back, order it, and then go back again, where it's like once you get consistency, in order to scale, you have to have something that like
and how do you pass that on?
Yeah.
Like it's
you
almost
have a light bulb out, and it's going to cost you $375 for me to change out a light bulb.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, I love what Andrew says here is get your reps in, guys, because it's going to make you better. It's going to sharpen your selling skills, your customer service skills, your ability to put in something better and faster.
That's it. Get your reps in, get some coaching, and lean into your manufacturer, lean into the people that are supporting you, right? Those are going to be the big things.
Build some symbiotic relationships there where it's like, hey, if my business grows, your business grows. So there's a win-win. Like, it's always like a little bit of an adversarial relationship to one point. Like, as a manufacturer side, like, I want to charge as much as I can. I'm also an installer, so I want to get it for as cheap as I can. So it's always that. But it's like ultimately, like, you get what you pay for, and then it's like, can I find an alliance? Like, I buy wire from a company, and I've been buying the same wire for 15 years because they don't let me down.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, if you're in stonework or whatever you're working with, you have your chemicals you're buying, like, you build those relationships with people that are interested in working with you and don't undercut you and don't do crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But the marketing, what do you do on marketing?
So
We'll
marketing,
wrap it up because we got a barbecue to get to.
Yeah, no doubt.
Coming off the grill.
Marketing wise, we're invested in local things. We do some direct mail. We're in some business networking groups. That works out really well for us. We average
in your community,
and we're involved in the community. We do. We donate to different foundations. Food insecurity is a big deal for us.
Yeah.
So we support food finders. We support a lot of different
Titty bars.
scenarios. Not the titty bars, yeah. No, you know, we
you ever host like a barbecue for people just to feed them?
You know, we don't necessarily do that. You know, we do it to network. You know, to network and to again continue to develop those relationships.
Yeah.
That's our biggest thing is the networking, the referral market. You know, we do some Facebook stuff. We do some direct marketing campaigns, but most of the stuff we do is going to be how can we get in front of our ideal client.
All right, words of wisdom for those watching that are just starting out or looking to start their own business.
Just starting out, just starting your own business. Again, learn as much as you can. Focus on the most important thing, which is sales. Build revenue. Build strong sales, and everything else will come.
Yeah. I've always said that it's like in a baseball game, wins fixes a lot of problems.
That's
in a baseball
right.
team. Like when you're losing and you have a great team, like everybody starts arguing.
Yeah.
You're getting sales, it fixes things.
Yeah.
Then if you're getting sales that are profitable, it fixes a lot more things.
That's right.
So it's like,
sustainability.
yeah, you got to start getting that basic, like get some wins, get some sales, make sure they're profitable, and then start building that business.
Well, and they duplicate themselves, right? Because you get the sale, then you get the 5-star review, you get the sign in the front yard. And so that is exponential. That's where it stops being lineal and it just gets big.
Yeah, action always gets more action. I had a friend stuck at $300,000 for 10 years. And I was like, and he was like going to go get a job at Home Depot at one point. And I'm like, dude, get busier. Because like the more active you are, the more good things happen.
More exposure too.
That's it.
Because it's like you do one job and all of a sudden it opens up to another job, to another, and it's like once you start getting busy, you then have that problem like I'm too busy and I can't rest. Which
that's
a
right.
better problem, but it's still a problem. Like I need to kick back and have some fun every once in a while.
That's right.
And involve the family and do things like that. So.
Hell yeah. Well, that wraps up this episode, guys. Make sure you tune in to Outdoorsy Entrepreneur every Wednesday. Comment, like, subscribe. Peace out, Boy Scouts. We got barbecue to hit.
All right. Gotta check my ribs.
All aboard!